So good morning from my behalf also. So my name is Juha Petteri Niemi. It's a pretty weird name, I guess, for majority of you, but I'm actually really excited to be here at AWE. It's my second time, and usually when a Finnish person says that he's excited, he's usually lying, but I'm truly really excited to be here and talk about music business because, you know, Finnish people are quite introvert usually, so they require a lot of alcohol for this kind of public speeches, but I can assure you that today I am actually sober. So we're going to be talking about music business today and how we can actually benefit with AR and VR. We have a couple of case studies that we're going to be talking about, and then also the project that we're doing called the RIL. And as soon as we get the slides, I'll just like jump ahead and move forward. All right, cool. So yeah, I represent a company called mFabrik Music, and we have a project called the RIL, which is for virtual illuminations. And it's about very specifically virtually augmenting the music business. So that's the cue for today. Just a couple words about us and especially for myself. mFabrik Music was actually founded in 2001 in Helsinki, Finland. So where we have polar bears in our backyards and wrestle penguins. I'm the CEO. I became actually the CEO last September, and it was actually the record company was just like it was having its downtime, and just like making records in the past. So we wanted to do something different because I love music. I've been doing music since I was 6 years old, but I also have my background in technology, working for Fujitsu and doing my major in software development. I haven't coded a single day, but that's a different story. We have 4 artists actually in our record company at the moment. We have Origami Boys, which is actually the biggest J-pop band in Finland. And I'm proud to say that it's the biggest one because it's the only J-pop band in Finland. We actually, this has a link to AR, and also we've been talking a lot about Pokemon Go. Actually, Origami Boys was a reason why the whole band was founded was because of Pokemon Go. We made a song called Butterfree My Life, which is about Pokemon, so you need to check it out and give us some revenue through YouTube. But yeah, so I'm not sure how many of you have heard about this short story about the coming race by Edward Bulwer-Lytton. It's about this subterranean species called the RIL. And I remember reading this science fiction novel, and I was like, hey, these guys are actually pretty like the things that we're doing at the moment in VR and AR. They have like telepathic and other psychological abilities, such as being able to transfer information, get rid of pain, and put others to sleep. So I thought that, hey, that's actually a pretty cool name. And this is nothing to associate with the real society, if you remember in Germany, like back in the Second World War. This is actually the original story about the RIL. So the RIL actually became the project that I'm now leading. And RIL is translated into virtual illuminations. And so this as like the kind of anecdote why we're now talking about music business is actually what can we do in VR and AR? We know that today we actually go to concerts, we have events, we have music videos, but I want to make it more experienced. I want to make it more about the stories. Like in Finland at the moment, I think the top 10 list hit songs are about drinking alcohol. Okay, yeah, we're from Finland. But I don't think that anybody would like to actually experience a VR experience about being hangover or drinking. So I want to make actually the stories great again, and that's what I'm wanting. Basically, if we think about, there is a lot of software coming up, and the basic music can be already computer generated. Well, does that mean that musicians will be out of jobs? No, we just need to step it up. We need to make stories, great stories that people want to experience, and that's what we're about. And when designing any kind of software, any kind of hardware, any kind of service, I would say that you should always have the mentality that it needs to be the superior experience. It needs to be the superior production model. And what we're aiming here is actually that, yeah, first we'll look into the music, what we need to step up in music business, then we'll bring the virtual reality elements, and then we'll bring the augmented and mixed reality elements into the RIL platform. Just a couple of numbers, not going into too deep, but we all know, I guess, in this conference that VR and AR is going to be big, and it's already big, but it's going to grow bigger and bigger each year. Music industry is growing quite steadily each year thanks to streaming services like Spotify and Deezer, Apple Music. People are consuming actually music much more these days. But just to put it in comparison, like during 2020, music business could also take its cake from the AR and VR investments and the revenue. Let's look at some of the use cases. So who would not like to see U2 playing in Mars? Because I know that Elon Musk is planning to send people on Mars, but I would like to beat him and going to Mars and seeing U2 playing there with 50,000 people actually checking out the concert from your couches. So that's kind of punchline, how we can see that VR can actually take us into places and actually transform the way we perceive concerts and events. So there's a lot of boxes and also circles, but I'll walk you through, so no worries. So yeah, concerts and events, that's really something really basic that what we like to see, that it's a social event. We want to see bands playing, but what if you could do it also from your couch? There are no limitations when it comes to venues. There are no physical limitations. You can bring up any kind of venues, and like I said, you could even play on Mars. You could do it in cooperation with the venues, of course, also. Like Levi Stadium, you could model that in 3D and then just bring all the people in VR to that place. So you can get already this kind of cooperation and bring, instead just into your physical world, you can also bring them in a virtual version of that place. You log in with your social media profile, let's say like Facebook. And today, when you go to a venue, you can see these particular advertisements that somebody has really bought there. But they might not reflect anything that you actually prefer. But through your social media profile, we could actually target that marketing directly to you, what you actually prefer. And we all know that, yeah, like I said, concerts are social events, so we need to bring the avatars also in place. You need to have an avatar of yourself when you go to a concert. And you need to have your friends also with you, and that's the great thing about it. And if there is any investors, I think you're going to love this. You can sell unlimited amount of tickets. Take a moment to breathe that in. And the cool thing also is that you can attend anywhere. You can attend at any place. It's 24/7. These venues can be open. So there are no limitations. Like in Finland, we have some limitations because of the alcohol law. You can keep the bars open just like 2 or 4 a.m. But through this, you can have it open 24/7. And you can have people attending from all around the world to the places. And you can customize your avatar, so of course that's a real big thing also, so that you don't just come as some weird-looking avatar, but you need to be able to personalize. You need to buy stuff for them. So it has also the kind of social aspect in that. Okay, what else? Then let's talk about music streaming and music videos. Okay, at the moment we're seeing a couple of music videos that already popped up in VR, but I'm seeing that like, if I would now go to Spotify or Deezer, that should be the future, that when I see a song, I should be able to stream also this kind of virtual reality experience on top of that. So again, we can attend anywhere, we can attend anytime. And the two kind of use cases that we've already did the case study is that there are two types of virtual reality experiences. It's like free roam, what a lot of been talking about also here. So you can just freely roam in an environment really customized to the song. It can be a roller coaster, so it's just like a predefined path where you're just going, and of course you can turn your head, but it's more like the predefined path like in a music video. And again, your social media profile plays a really big role in this one. Because again, in music videos, instead of seeing Dr. Dre beats in every music video, you could actually see something that you prefer. Okay, so there are challenges, of course. And I would say that the first biggest challenge is actually copyrights. We started our discussion with Teosto, which is the Finnish Copyright Association. And because I want to know, as I'm an artist myself, so how does the music industry and the copyrights actually reflect on how do I get the revenue from that? Is VR a music video? Is VR game music? Because those are quite different when it comes to just like streaming music, and especially when it comes to revenue. So the copyright thing is one of the biggest issues that needs to be solved first, because if we don't get the artist on board, really getting indulged into the VR thing, we don't have the content. The hardware, which device should I use? I'm seeing a lot of cool stuff. I went here actually first time last year, and I saw a lot of cool stuff, a lot of cool hardware, but which device should I use? Which is the dominant platform for that? And yeah, the next one, which platform should I use? Where can I see it? Where can I touch? There is no dominant platform for that at the moment. And this is what RIL should be doing. This is the kind of optimal situation. From the consumer's perspective, I can have any hardware. I can check the content from any platform, and the RIL would handle all the rest. So from the consumer's perspective, we need to make it as easy so that you can check the content from any device. And that's what RIL is about. This is a bit of our schedule, so we started now discussions about the copyright. Like I said, that's one of the major issues that needs to be solved. Then funding, then we'll do the proof of concept about a concert in VR. Then we'll start building a platform when all of these prerequisites have been met. And for the final part for my presentation, I would like you all now to close your eyes, because you have the greatest VR device still that we know inside your heads. And think about that you're just beside a forest that has a meadow inside the forest, that has a huge magnolia tree. And listen to the song, and think about how would you perceive the trip when you're going towards that magnolia tree.
You grew up from a distant tree, where all our hopes did flee. I was alone, so were you. Magnolia. But who's the one who won't stay by your side when all stars are falling from the sky? Mankind has passed you, so did I.
I think we would receive a different story from each person. And that is also one of the key things from this presentation, that we all perceive and listen to music in different ways. So, if I got your attention, so here is my contact details also, and I would like to thank you very much for the interest. And I'm hoping that soon we will be sitting in our couches and enjoying concerts from our sofas, and perhaps even in Mars. So thank you very much.